Hello friends, welcome to this video. A quick disclaimer before we start. I am just getting over a cold, so my voice sounds a little bit weird, and I also don't have my nice mic with me right now since I'm traveling for the holidays. If the audio quality is causing you distress, totally feel free to mute or do whatever you have to not feel that distress. In any case, today I'm going to talk to you about how to draw a dragon face, particularly in some interesting angles like to the front. This is something that I clearly struggle with. So I taught myself how to do it, and now I'll share any tips I have with you. And seriously, if you have any tips of your own, leave them in the comments because I would still like to improve. And also, as an aside, we're going to talk a little bit about how I was able to improve my art this much in 2 days. And the moral of the story is, if you're just getting frustrated with your art, it's okay to take a break. And when you come back with a clear head, things are a lot easier to figure out. All right, so my first attempt at a face was with the symmetry drawing guide on Procreate. Now, this is a really useful tool for drawing basically anything front facing right into the camera because it mirrors your strokes. So you don't have to worry about keeping things even at all. It does it for you. I think while it is sort of a crutch, this is an incredibly useful tool. So I'm going to quickly go into how you use it. In the Procreate app, you can go to the wrench in the top left corner of your little screen. You click on that wrench, you go to canvas settings, you turn the switch for drawing guide to on. You can then edit the drawing guide and hit symmetry, and there you go, the drawing guide is on. You can turn it off by turning the switch off, or if you want to temporarily pause, you can go to your layer and then click on it and then uncheck drawing assist or whatever, and you can pause it that way. The reason why I call this a crutch is because it's really, really good for helping you figure out how to draw a dragon front facing. But if you wanted to do another interesting pose like 3/4 or near 3/4, like almost front facing but not quite, it's not really gonna help you. And so, at least for me, in this video, the whole entire process is me trying to figure out how to draw the dragon front facing without that drawing guide. And it's actually really, really hard. And that's good because it made me learn the forms of the face and how to draw it. And yeah. All right. So originally I had this drawing, and I actually did this around Halloween. I did this in the middle of October. And this was going to be my Halloween dragon. So I wanted to draw this full body, deep sea, scary thing. And then I started to really dislike the face, start working more on the face, realize I had no idea how to draw a face front facing anymore. I feel like I used to, but I totally lost that skill over time, and then proceeded to spend probably 10 hours based on the canvas recording just trying to figure out how to draw the face and absolutely failing. And then I rage quit for 2 days, and I came back and I could do it. So I figured it was important to include this video in my, series of how to draw, because I feel like I need to convey that it is hard to figure out how to draw dragons, how to draw anything in general. And I have been drawing dragons for years and years and years, so much that I wanted to start a channel all about drawing dragons. And I still mess up a lot. I felt like it was really important to show you that I do not get everything perfect the first time I try it. All right, now comes the question, why was this so hard for you? And also, how do I draw a dragon face in the first place? From the front, yeah, that's what we're doing. So this was really hard because I did not have a good reference. when I'm trying to learn how to draw something new, I like to use a reference. And in this case, I used a really cool reference of a tiger. It had this really cool anger, fear, emotion on its face, and I really wanted to convey that with this dragon in the painting. To be honest, I still find it difficult to find good references for dragons, especially if it's something new. I usually have to improvise, which, you know, then takes quite a bit of trial and error a lot of the time. So, yeah. Now, how do you draw a dragon face from the front? Well, to be honest, the method that I'm using here is actually pretty spot on for the most part. I like to draw a circle, then I draw a square for the jaw, and I draw a horizontal line where the eyes should be, and I block in the muzzle as basically a box. What I'm getting wrong here is I am not emphasizing the jaw muscles enough in this dragon. So, like, basically the cheekbone / jaw muscles are the area that like pokes out behind the eyes in dragons. I mean, let me think. If you think of alligators a little bit, it's this muscle that closes the jaw that I'm talking about. It's really important in conveying the fact that this dragon has a strong bite force, and without those muscles and without a jaw that looks like it could do some biting, this dragon just looks weak. Even though it has a scary expression on its face, it doesn't have any like jaw muscle. It probably can't actually hurt you that much. So that, I think, is the main thing. The head seems fine. The jaw should be beefier. And I find I am losing myself in the muzzle because I'm focused on these wrinkles. Now, I tried going back to the box, adding wrinkles, going back to the box, adding wrinkles, and I tried so many times, and to be honest, the only thing that fixed it was basically stopping and just rage quitting and starting anew another day. I think it's not uncommon to have good art days and bad art days, and that is totally fine. If you find yourself getting frustrated, don't keep banging your head against the same problem over and over. Just stop, take a break, draw something else, and get back to it later. Promise that drawing will still be there. So later in this process of drawing, I got so fed up with the sketch that I started to paint over it without really knowing where the forms were in this face. And yeah, it didn't turn out very well because I didn't know what I was doing at all. And because that main point, that the proportion of the jaw was off, just kind of ruined it for the rest of the time that I spent trying to paint it into something resembling a piece that I liked. Alright, so I said about 48 hours later, I was able to go from fumbling around and not knowing at all how to draw like this to actually getting something that I was proud of. So I will show you. I actually drew a dragon in a 3/4 view that I was comfortable with. I drew this dragon, sort of the same character that I've been going for this whole time. She's got a backstory, but that's an aside. Anyway, so I draw this dragon in a view that I am comfortable with. I draw it until I'm happy. I think the proportions are good, and I let it exist. Essentially, I tried to take the proportions from the face that I was happy with, even though it was in a different view, and I applied that to a front-facing face. Now, you can see from the recording that I didn't do this like with lines and everything. I did it by eye, trying to match up the proportions, but essentially what I did was this. I tried to line up the proportion of the head compared to the jaw. I tried to line up the position of the eyes, the position of the nose, and everything, and I'm actually really proud and surprised that these lines do quite well line up. And this is something that I definitely suggest you do if you're trying to draw a front-facing dragon face. If you're comfortable with profile, draw a profile that you're proud of. Then literally draw lines across and draw your front-facing face like that. It is, I mean, I guess you can sort of call it a crutch, but it's learning. You have to relearn proportions in this new, like, face. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I figured my suffering might as well be useful for someone else. And that is all I have for you today. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this process. I know the part of actually succeeding was really short. I showed it twice to hopefully it made sense, but if you want more explanation, totally let me know. And if you want more advice on other poses, other views of the dragon, top view, I don't know, let me know. And if you guys have, again, tips and tricks, feel free to share them with each other. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day, a great holiday, because it is, as I am recording this, Christmas Eve. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing really well. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you around.